A sitemap tells search engines how your site is organized, and it helps them to better crawl your website. So they are particularly helpful if you have a brand new site, if you have no backlinks or very few backlinks, or if you have a very large website and Google might not otherwise crawl that entire site. But once you have your new website, whether it is just being built or you've done a redesign, you want to submit your XML sitemap to your Google Search Console account. This can help Google crawl your new website, and it also can let them know which URL that you prefer, so you want to make sure that you specified that as well. Now, sitemaps don't only include pages, but they can also include images, they can include video. But in addition to that information, it will tell search engines when pages were last updated, how often they are updated. So if you update your content typically once a week or once a month, once a year, whatever the case may be, and other information as well. Now, just to be clear, some websites don't even need a sitemap at all. Sites that are very well organized or sites that are very well designed, they have good internal links and backlinks pointing to the site. A sitemap isn't really necessary because Google is going to crawl that website and index it anyway because of those factors. But the way I look at it is a sitemap is one of those things that is never going to hurt your website. It really can only help. But that's why I tend to always do it anyway. Now, an XML sitemap is not really going to give you a big SEO benefit. The purpose here is really more so just to help search engines better crawl the website, and you can also have an HTML sitemap, and that is meant more so for users, and that one can help more with rankings. So let's talk about how to actually go about creating a sitemap, and then let's look at actually submitting it as well. So there's really two ways to create a sitemap. First, you can do it manually if you know how to do that. And your second option is to use a tool to have it done for you. So there are services like XMLSitemaps.com, and this website will actually generate an XML and even HTML sitemap for you up to a certain number of pages. I believe it's up to about 500 pages. There are also plugins like the WordPress Google XML Sitemaps plugin that you can use. It's a highly rated plugin, and you can install this plugin on your website and it will generate the files for you. So if I go to the XML Sitemap website and I'm going to throw in my URL here. Now notice below here it's going to ask you some information. How often does the website actually get updated? So in this particular case, this one doesn't really ever. So I could put yearly, although when we launch the new website, we will have a content creation plan, so we will change that to weekly or monthly. And you can include the last modification time, or you can just let it be the server's response. And then I can go ahead and click start, and it is going to generate the sitemap. So as you can see, it's that easy. Now I can download the sitemap.xml file, and I can also go down and download the sitemap.html file as well. Then you can upload those onto your host. And now what we want to do is go ahead and let Google know about the sitemap. So what we can do is first we want to go ahead and upload our sitemap to our website. We can do that using FTP, or you can go into your cPanel and upload it using your file manager. Then you want to head over to your Google Search Console account. You can put in this URL here, and then it will take you to this screen. If you have multiple properties or websites, it's going to give you a drop down. but you can select the website that you're dealing with. Alternatively, you can just log into your Google Search Console account. You can go down to crawl and then down to sitemaps. It's going to bring you to the same page. Here it's going to show you if you already have a sitemap that has been added. Since I do not, I can click on this add or test sitemap. So there's two things that you can do here. First, you can go ahead and insert the URL of the sitemap. So in this particular case, this could be livealonandprosper.com/sitemap.xml. Then what I can do is I can click submit, and that is going to send that XML sitemap to Google. But I definitely want to use their testing tool. And so I can click test sitemap, and that is going to let me know that the sitemap has actually been done correctly. So especially if you have done this manually, you definitely want to double check your work there. Once everything looks good, go ahead and submit that. Now the other thing that you can do is you can go into your robots.txt file, and if you're familiar with this file, you feel comfortable doing this, you can go in there and you can specify the path to your actual sitemap. So you would just include sitemap semicolon followed by the URL of your sitemap. And you can save that, and that will also do the trick as well. So whenever you do a redesign, you definitely want to update your XML sitemap immediately after launch to let Google know about it. But if your website is getting updated regularly, it is also a good idea to go in and update your XML sitemap as well, just to keep Google updated on all the changes and the frequency of how often you update your website, and to make sure that each and every one of your pages is getting indexed as you would expect it to.